Well, the Onion banner is going to be a party too. Get ready for some good stuff over the next few weeks. How many pulls am I saving? I don't know. Who knows how much mithril we're going to have. But, I mean, pretty much 90%, if not all of it, all of my mithril is going to be dedicated towards Banner 4 and Onion Knight. You know, that's probably a bad way to put it. I have a lot of mithril. The banner is good because you can throw mithril at it and you don't need like a bunch of separate pieces all together. I can spend 150 mithril on this on that fourth banner and end up with everything, with a bunch of good things, and that's fine. I don't need to have everything off of the banner. Just what improves, a considerable improvement to my ice and lightning. And then I can fill it in elsewhere. So talking like I'm going to dump a bunch of mithril onto the fourth banner isn't accurate, because I'm probably not going to do that. The Onion Knight banner is a little different. And I agree with that, Jellin. That for the same reason that I may not start chasing things on the Onion Knight banner, because I know it's the way the game's played. The super powerful things, like all of Onion Knight's Burst Soul Break for, you know, since the beginning of time, has been on a ton of different banners. So maybe I get what I can get, but not overcommit. But I'll definitely talk about that more when I review the Onion Knight banner when it's a week away. Okay, so let's. I've been talking over Banner 5 about 2 different other banners. Hope you don't feel betrayed. Seymour. I hate Seymour. I hate Seymour almost as much as I hate Snow. And at least they gave Snow an HP stock chain. So I can find a little bit of fault with that. They gave Seymour a quick cast 2 chain. So I can't hate Seymour at all. It's just a great relic, soul break. And I would be enthused to pull it. Next up, we have Warrior of Light's chain, who is just like Snow's. He has HP stock 2000 attached to his chain. But, you know, the important thing about this chain to me is you notice that a lot of different things have, you know, fire on the first banner. You got Creel and you got Lock. You got a physical and you got a magical. There's a big difference between the state of Holy Physical and Holy Magical, and it's only slightly bridged in the future with the release of White Magic USBs. Warrior of Light's chain is ultra powerful because holy damage is almost completely physical. And the one guy in the game that does holy magical damage at an incredibly high level doesn't really care if he's on a physical team. He's cool with that. And that's Sid Reigns, who's also on this banner. So Warrior of Light's chain is extremely good. It is a HP stock 2000 chain, but it's a physical chain. And Warrior of Light is no slouch. Well, actually, he's kind of a slouch. His Legend Dive sucks. And his Legend Materia stinks, and that's also on this banner, which really gave me a little bit of a stink eye when I first saw this banner. But I've come around a little bit, just understanding how powerful Warrior of Light's chain really is because of the ways in which you can use it in this game. And one of the ways in which you can augment it in this game, boom. Next up, Burglar Sword from Marsh and his USB. Let's talk about that. Divine combo, 10 single attacks, grants attach holy and X speed combo to the user. X speed combo is broken. It gives him plus 30% attack, and every time Marsh uses a night ability while he has speed combo active, the entire front row gains high quick cast, or physical high quick cast. Big difference. That's stupid. And it's high quick cast. It's not just quick cast. So that it reduces all of everyone's physical cast times in the front row by 66%. That's... oh my god. Imagine building a chain where everybody on your team has high quick cast every turn. And it's on the same banner as Warrior of Light's chain. Thank you, Blyven. That, I had a big internal dialogue with myself about that earlier, Spidey, and I'm gonna have that out again here, because that's what this is for. Marsh and Warrior of Light could turn Snow into an ultra high damage holy character, because he has access to night abilities. So these two item or relics being on the same banner, it's pretty good. I don't want to imagine that team, the Gators. It breaks my head. Transcends the blood-brain barrier. My meninges does not approve. Okay, so we got those three relics, and all three of them are really, really friggin' good. Next up, we have Garland's OSB. Okay. Is it elemental? No, it's not. Oh my goodness, Seymour's chain is... oh man, it's dark damage up. I didn't know that. I did not know that coming into this. I thought I was prepared. I wasn't. Oh. Oh, the pain. Okay, so Garland's OSB. It's an OSB. There's nothing for Garland on this event, and there shouldn't be. Because everything Garland has currently besides his chain sucks. So, and since that is the 4th 6-star, there's no room for his chain. I'd prefer if it was his chain instead of his OSB. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, the Final Fantasy 1 banners coming up are both really good, and they're both really good for Garland. One has his USB and one has his chain. So it's not a bad thing to pick up. And when I say really good, I mean those Final Fantasy 1 banners are worthy of consideration by everybody. And that's something we're going to look at in comparison to this banner along with Final Fantasy Tactics. So anyway, let's side with bad and say that Garland's OSB being here is a blank spot. And that's a good reason why is this banner is a Holy and Dark banner, where those Final Fantasy 1 banners, one is dedicated strictly to Dark, and the other is dedicated to Holy and Dark. It has Warrior of Light's chain and Garland's chain on it. So there's a lot of conflict there. So you'd have to pull in a weird way on this banner to make that banner good for you to pull on to get value out of your Garland OSB. I'm not going to count on that because RNG's a bitch. So let's say that Garland's OSB is a loss. Seymour's BSB2 is weird for a BSB. I personally do not like it. It's going to be a lot of stuff to look at here. It's a kind of a complex burst. Guado Grudge. The entry is standard, haste, attach, dark, and burst mode to the user. Here's where we get weird. First command, Desire for Ruin, 13.2 multiplier. That is gross. And that's a 13.2 over 6 attacks. Here's where we start getting weird. Damages the user for 35% of max HP. That's a lot. And Seymour has an LMR that appears on this banner that gives him a 25% chance to dual cast. So he can dual cast his command 1 and hurt himself for 70% of his maximum HP in a single moment. That's asking for death. But here's where we at least start to walk that back a little bit. His second command grants Phantom Regen to the user and grants Magic Bargain to the user. Magic Bargain is nice. What does Phantom Regen do? Heals 15% of his max HP every 3.5 seconds. So that's not bad. That goes a long way towards fixing the problem. 3.5 seconds is just a little more than it takes to gain all your ATB and then take an action at normal cast speed. So he's at least mitigating that some. But the main thing that allows him to survive with that crazy 35% is his LM2. Whereas a 40% chance of restoring HP to the user for 40% of the damage dealt with single target dark attacks. A 40% drain is... He's always going to fill himself to full. The issue here is that 40% is just too low. Because if he dual casts, and why would you run him without dual cast if you've got it? That if he dual casts, he's gonna kill himself. And Seymour. Magical Dark teams don't have an easy source of Last Stand. You would have to purposely hurt your team just to include a Last Stand in it. Yeah, so I'm actually not a big fan of this Burst Soul Break because I think the cost is too high. Can you have Phantom Regen and High Regen together? I do not believe so. Phantom Regen, exclusive statuses. It looks like he can. Poison Sap? Let's see. We can search for it. No. He can have Regen and Phantom Regen active at the same time. HP stock would help. Yes. And right, exactly. Not sure who could provide it. That was one conflict I had earlier when I was taking a look at this banner in Discord, is that I was trying to search for a way. Where can I get either HP stock or Last Stand onto this party and it not hurt that much? Because it is a really powerful burst you can overcome that drawback. But I don't think you can. I don't think there's an easy way for him to overcome the drawback. So that's the first Soul Break, is Seymour's BSB2. Next up, we have Ramza's BSB2. Just Shout 2.0. That's really good. It's Shout with a lower cast time, plus 20% stats for Ramza. Moves Wrath to a burst command, which opens up a ability slot for him if you're going to use him as an entrust bot. Which is actually quite valuable because Affliction Break is going to become a thing in Magicite dungeons come the 4-star Magicites. If there's anything bad I can say about this, is that it's quickly kind of given an upgrade and Onion Knight's USB, which is just better in almost every way. Which is why I tried to talk about the Wrath command, because him having 3 ability slots open to him, as well as being an entrust bot, is a good thing. But here's the kicker, really, is that if you don't have anything of Ramza's like more modern gear, which I don't, his BSB kind of asks for his LMR for him to be able to compete with Onion Knight. And his LMR is not on this banner. Understandably, because it's just a BSB. So I will get this, and I will happily clutch it to my chest and grin, because Ramza's my favorite Final Fantasy character. And I have been robbed over like 500 Mithril over the course of almost 2 years now of having access to Shout. So it will be a cathartic moment for me. But I don't think I'd find much use for it if I pull Onion Knight's USB. And with the amount of Mithril I'm hoping to have available for the Onion Knight banner, I don't know. It's at least a decent possibility. But if let me put it this way, I may not pull Onion Knight's USB, physical USB. That's definitely a huge possibility. This is the gacha, and that's what happens. Picking up Ramza's USB or BSB2 here would be a nice consolation, because I don't have a haste and 50% attack boost, and I don't at all. So it would be nice to have one. So next up, we have Sid Rain's Soul Break, which, kind of similar to Fusion's Burst, it just shows up everywhere, and it shows up everywhere for a good reason. It's overpowered, and it's a good balance decision for DNA to put the overpowered things on many banners. That's why we see Onion Knight stuff everywhere. Because if you don't and you make it exclusive, it increases the power disparity between different accounts, and it creates, envy and bad feelings and shit like that. But it is everywhere, but that's kind of okay, at least, similar to Fusion's, because it is a plus dark fist weapon. So stacking them one on top of each other is a very good thing. Plus magic for Reigns. I'm happy to just keep seeing this on banners. It's because I want everyone to have one of these. I think it's a crime that not everyone has a Metamorphosis clause. So I'm happy for the people that don't have one, that want to pull on this banner and pick it up here. We don't have feelings. Well, I certainly don't. My cold heart is renowned the world over. If you opened up my chest, there'd just be a Google Doc staring out at you. Okay, that joke's done. Lustrous Shields. Warrior of Light's Burst Soul Break. It's a holy shield. It's not a very good burst other than that. It's just an attached holy burst. So I guess it could be used to some effectiveness with his CSB, which appears on the banner. Max, I absolutely did not skip Sim Raids.
Are you drunk?
Not
drunk enough.
So plus Holy Shield is really good. It's cool. And giving attach Holy to someone with the chain is good. I don't know, it's fine. I guess I could use more plus Holy armor. Whatever. Golbez BSB is not good. But it is a plus Dark Rod. Yeah, see, Golbez's BSB used to be really cool, because if you use his first command on his burst, it enables his second command to be a 4-hit drain strike, a Drainga, and it was powerful, and it was pretty cool for him to use, because he was very self-sufficient. But then they went ahead and made Dire Heal, the 5-star darkness ability for mages, 4 hits, has a higher multiplier. So it just completely removed anything good that Golbez BSB had going for it. Oops. It is fun though, because it has Sentinel on the cast itself, and using Golbez as he was meant to be used, as the tankiest mage ever, is actually kind of fun. I agree. Next up we have Marsh's BSB, which is good. It's not dead. It's not dead like Warrior of Lights and Golbez's are, because it has a party buff attached to it. My voice is... it's on the brink. Alright, so Marsh's Knight combo. Attack in mind plus 30% to all allies for 25 seconds and grants haste and burst mode to the user. If I remember correctly, the burst commands aren't a big deal, but they never are. Yeah, grants Night boost 15% to the user for 3 times. Oh, shit. Hiccup. And grants Sentinel to the user for 25 seconds. At least that could be used with Guardbringer, right? But so can Divine Cross. It's what makes me, like, not as big on these Sentinel commands anymore, because Divine Cross is a powerful, like, a 3.2 multiplier ability. Well, this is a 2.5. Though Sentinel does give 200% defense, where Divine Cross gives 100%. So there's that. But anyway, the burst commands are nothing to write home about. It's really all about that, the party buff. Is the party buff that useful? No, I don't think so. I spoke highly of Vivi's BSB2 because that was a party buff, a magic and resistance plus 30% buff, because mage buffs are more valuable. What separates them is physical characters have a lower soft cap. And physical characters have access to plus 50% attack buffs. So they don't need to stack 30 and 30, and, you know, in 30s. Exactly. So 30% party buffs that come on kind of weird burst soul breaks like this, they're not as valuable. It is a party buff, so it's not bad, but it's I'm not going to celebrate it as being something people want to pick up. Your healer uses their Medica command for more with this, because it's attack in mind. So that's neat. Or right, Arc and Minwoo and Rem do more damage with it in your party. But sorry to bring up Onion Knight repeatedly, but Onion Knight's Sage Mode USB, which is his mage version, is a tri-buff. It's not a single buff. It's magic, mind, and I believe resistance plus 30% to the entire party. That's probably... You're not going to be including Marsh on a team with Onion Knight for Rem and, you know, Arc to use. Though I would like to see that party. It seems like it'd be kind of neat. Next up, we have Shadow's BSB, which, like most BSBs before it, is good because it is instacast. He can still make use of this. Gives him attached Dark. And I almost eclipsed the hill on Edge's BSB and it being good because it gave him attached Water, which increased the potency of those awesome ninja abilities. But I hesitate because 2.5 is a huge time investment to cast it. Shadow suffers no such thing. It's instant cast, gives him attached Dark, and makes his ninja abilities awesome. So this is actually a good burst. And turns him into a powerful Darkness character. Just because of those 5-star abilities and being able to attach Dark himself with the Soul Break. Orlando's BSB stinks. Moving on. Seymour and Warrior of Light. Legend Materia. One of these is not like the other. Seymour's a 25% chance to dual cast Dark abilities. Really good. Really, really good on a character with a really good chain. I love it. Warrior of Lights is... It's on the other side of the spectrum. Attack plus 3% for each hit taken by damaging attacks up to 35%. It's just... It's awful. It's better than his LM1, at least, but that's because his LM1 is terrible. And his LM2 is bad, too. Warrior of Light. Whew. Boy, your Legend Materia needs some work. And someone else out there agreed with me, and he eventually gets an LMR2 that gives him attach Holy at the beginning of the battle, which is really nice with this chain. But that is not on this banner. His LMR1 is, and it sticks. Boy, does it stick. And like Ricky says in chat, Seymour's LMR is also plus Dark. They managed to do it. They managed to make me want to use Seymour. Even though I personally think he's a removable, a completely replaceable, and pointless punchline in the game he's from. But now, with that chain, with that LMR, I just want to hug him in his Play-Doh hair. So, I haven't done this for a banner, but this festival banner actually has 2 places we can take a look at. With comparable things that are worth looking at for alternatives. The first... No, I think both of them come relatively quickly. I'm thinking February? Yeah, one after another. Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy Tactics. This is, yeah, I have Type 0, ETA. Well, I think we have it mined. The date's mined for January 24th. So we're going to be likely be seeing Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy Tactics very soon after. So let's go take a look at these banners. First off, we have Final Fantasy 1. This banner is less of a conflict, but I will show something just to touch on what I was talking about with Garland's OSB. If you pull his OSB, man, his OSB is on this banner. Garland's USB is really good. And Garland has a really good LMR, and I'm pretty sure he has a good LM2 as well. Garland just becomes a really good dark character, so if I had his OSB, I'd at least be interested in trying to get the things that make him good. But, and it comes on, and the banner's extremely good. There's not like an elemental synergy between this banner and the Banner 5, but there's Garland, and then there's Sarah's excellent USB, Master's excellent USB. It's a very good banner. This is the banner that would be more like, which one do I pull on? Because this is basically a festival banner. We have Matoya's USB, and though Matoya might stink, she's actually very good with her USB. She becomes a serviceable witch. And Warrior of Light's USB is here. But it has 2 chains! Garland LM2. 40% chance of restoring HP to the user for 40% of the damage dealt. Okay. That isn't as good as I remember it being. It's his LMR that I really like. Why does an event banner have 2 chains on it? It's pretty great. And it's a dark, and it's a darkness chain, and it's a holy chain. So it's a very big similarity to the banner and the festival. So what else do we have on this banner that could make it like contend with that one? Well, one big difference is it's the physical dark chain, not the magical. That's the difference there. And personally for me, I'd prefer the magical chain. 1, because it's just better. It's a quick cast 2. And 2, because it's magic. And I'm pretty sure with Sid Reigns being a thing, and me pulling on the Onionite banner, and probably going to be getting Cloud of Darkness, and a pretty decent possibility of me pulling on a Kuja banner in the future, my magical dark is going to be more dominant than my physical dark for a fair amount of time. So pulling for the magical chain over the physical chain is, it makes more sense. But here, BSB section, Thief, bad. Matoya, bad. Warrior of Light, Holy Shields. Garland, ugh, really bad. Maya doesn't exist, so who knows what that's going to be. Maya doesn't exist, so who knows what her LMR is going to turn into. Matoya's LMR is good to be on this banner because of her USB. Thief LMR is a meme. Medium chance to increase enemy guild drops by 30% when equipping daggers. It's like an insult. Is it at least okay? The relic itself is plus 1 damage, so it's not like a true whiff. But I mean, the gacha's already tough enough as it is to be including something this unbelievably worthless. Would suck. Thank goodness it's a wind relic. Warrior of Light's Crystal Helm, up to medium attack based on number of hits. We've seen how bad that is. And then Thief gets a Super Soul Break on the banner, which actually doesn't seem that bad. But it's a debuffer, Super Soul Break, so pretty dismissible. Honestly, the banner's not good. So in order for me to want to pull on this banner more than the current the fifth festival banner, I would want Garland's CSB more than I would want Seymour's. And then, but here's the thing, it was probably mentioned in chat. I'd probably take Seymour's Chain on a physical team over Garland's. Because that quick cast 2 is just so powerful. And it's not like Seymour has a problem buffing himself. Memento Mori is a thing. So I actually probably say no to this banner. So if we can't trust this banner, who can we trust? Do we trust the Raijin Sid? This banner has a very similar theme to the Festival Banner 5, and that is Holy and Dark. Orlando's busted. I suppose I should talk about what this USB actually does in order to properly convey how disgusting it is. 12 single target, critical Holy Dark physical damage. This is the only soul break that does this. Regardless of what statuses you have, every time you use this soul break, every single one of those 12 hits will be a critical hit. And then after it's done, he gives him a status that gives him critical 100%. And then he also gives himself an X mode, Sword Saint, which increases his attack not by 30%, but by 50%. And then gives him Night and Darkness ability double, which turns Orlando into a unrivaled damage dealer in Holy, Dark, and Earth, thanks to the Night and Darkness ability schools. Ability double automatically double cast. It's a 100% chance to dual cast at the cost of an extra ability usage. And it does not count on burst commands. Burst commands cannot be used for a ability double, and that's why I say Orlando's BSB is crap. Otherwise, it would be pretty good, but it's not. Let me check, Ricky. Uh, 6.69. Not really. Let's find an analog. Marsh, USB Divine Combo, 7.10 to 6.69. Yeah, it's not that big of a difference. Times 1.5. Crits are 1.5. 50% increased damage. So, That's disgusting. A disgusting form of holy and darkness or dark damage, as well as earth added on to it. Alma's USB is not good. Marsh also occurs here, so that's just a pairing between the banner. Orlando's OSB appears here. If you want to provide a direct comparison, I will take this any day over Garland's OSB. So, what's the difference? We gain Orlando's OSB instead of Garland's. And Alma is our act of contrition for Orlando becoming a holy and dark maniac by himself with a single relic. It's honestly, and I mean, it was mentioned when I started this banner. This is a very difficult decision. Burst Soul Break section. Alma's BSB is not bad. Ram's BSB is a pair between the two. Marsh BSB paired. Orlando also paired. These banners are very similar. Very, very similar. Gafgarian sucks. His BSB sucks. Orlando LMR, low chance to dual cast Night or Darkness abilities. What the flying... Alma's LMR is good. It's fine. It's just Alma's just not that good, so... But here's a big difference. Ramses LMR is on this banner, which really improves what his BSB is capable of. Marsh's LMR is here. That's medium night damage up when equipping swords. You remember Marsh's USB. He casts night abilities to give everyone high quick cast. So he likes this. That's 20% increased damage just from LMR. That's a good LMR for him. And then Alma's super. It's so difficult. I think I'm gonna relay my personal viewpoint. And try to apply that and see how that could apply to other people. I already kind of hinted at it. I have Sid Reigns. I have him Legend Dove. Is a possibility I may pull for Sid Reigns USB because I like Nabat's USB that also appears on the same banner. You're right, Marsh LMR is 25%. It's Knowles, just flat PHY, not ability locked. That's 20%. So you're right, it's 25%. Even better. I am going to be pulling on the Enya Knight banner. No question about that. So I may be pulling Cloud of Darkness's good USB. And her good BSB too. There's a good chance I'll be pulling for Kuja in his USB and OSB in the future. My dark is magical. And yeah, Orlando transcends boundaries because he's just that powerful. But the Cloud of Darkness banner, or the Cloud of Darkness pulls are lined up. And if I'm going to be making pulls and getting stuff from the gacha, I don't want it to be for nothing. So instead of going for Orlando and giving myself very strong, dark, and holy, I can pull on this Best Festival Banner 5 and give myself a chance at getting strong, dark, and holy, and also have access to that Marsh. And I think this is what tipped me. And the verdict is that I would rather pull on Banner 5 of this festival than the Orlando banner. What tipped me is I don't have Ram's USB. I don't have Ram's USB, so getting Ram's BSB and his LMR here doesn't really excite me like it would have in the past, because this is a role that I want played by Onion Knight, and there's so much overlap between Onion Knight's USB 2 and Ram's BSB 2. Even Onion Knight, his LMR is Start the Battle with Instant Cast 2, which is very similar to Ram's Start the Battle with full ATB and Instant Cast 1. So with me probably developing Magical Holy, yeah, Ram's BSB is also on Banner 5. I was making the comparison to his LMR being here. His LMR would be good regardless if I had his USB. I just don't. If I pulled Ram's USB, I'd be going on this banner instead. But I don't. If I don't get Ninja USB, I'll probably have to make that decision, because that's going to be after this Banner 5 and that. Too many variables. But, I mean, that's a good question, and that's a question I'm going to ask myself after the Onion Knight banner is done. The Onion Knight banner is going to change things for a lot of people. And there's I'm definitely going to hold a stream after that banner is done and be like, where do we go from here? You know? Yeah. I'm pushing you not to pull on 5. You have Ram's USB, don't you, Will? It's such a tough situation. Then how many pulls on this and Onion Knight? I don't know. I don't make those determinations before I pull. Plus, I don't plan on pulling on this banner now. This banner is actually, like, it's 0 to me. It may turn back on, depending on if I pull on this banner and what I pull. Like, if I throw 50 Mithril at this banner and I pull Seymour's Chain, I'd cash in my chips, say I'm out of here. I'll go for the Orlando banner, because Seymour's CSB works great with Orlando. I'll gladly do that. Dragon, like, it's in limbo. Yeah. I would pull on Banner 5 of this festival before I would pull on the Orlando banner. No, Max Rage. Orlando's LM2 is Start the Battle with Infinite Haste and Instacast 3. His LMR is 25% chance to dual cast Darkness abilities and Night abilities. Orlando is broken. I don't dispute that at all. I just, maybe I'm overstepping, but I value chains very highly. I've seen what my Titus CSB does, and it just transforms a team. And because it's adding percentage to a team, it's almost timeless. Because it buffs up the rest of the team. So as power creep progresses, the chain just keeps getting better and better. Nobody Rainmaker. I pulled Titus Chainsaw Break on the Celerity Nightmare Lucky banner when they gave us all of those luckies for the nightmares. I loved that banner. That was a good lucky. All right, banner's done. Any closing thoughts before I go get myself a drink?
Are you drunk?
Thank you, Jimbo. I made it to the end, and I still have a voice.
All banners down. GG. Sharp charity.
Oh, they fixed a full throttle? Nice. Oh, 4, Ricky. Um, 5 is something I've got to wrestle with.
Are you drunk?
But I think it's worth at least one pull.
Sharp charity. Oh yay, oh
So,
yay, oh yay, oh yay.
I'll throw one at it and see what happens.
Thanks,
And then go from there. Yeah, right, Asher. Give me a chance to recover. My throat